So you've got a 3D printer and you've been printing some awesome props and cosplay, and now you want to take it to a different level. So you print awesome things like these helmets and they look absolutely fantastic. But you've seen all the stuff out there. You've seen things that people can do where you do weathering. You've seen amazing paint jobs, and this isn't painted. I'll be honest, this came straight off my A1 just like this. Now I do want to paint it up and I want to make it look better. But if you've been sticking around with my channel for a while and you know me, I won't go with just the clean old look. I'm going to go that dirty, weathered, worn look. And look at that shine and that gloss. It just looks so much better if you ask me. I love that weathered look. I love the look that it's been worn, it's been used, it's battle damaged. That's what I'm after. But how do you get that without using airbrushes or without using liquid latex, which can be expensive? You need time to learn how to use them. You've got to have particular skills, a nice setup. I don't have any of that, and I don't use any of that. So how do I do it? Well, let's get into it and have a look. So the first step in getting anything ready for paint or weathering in your props is obviously our post-processing. So we're going to be going through that normal process now. If you don't know how to do this, I do have some videos on this which I will link below. But some of my earlier videos go through exactly how to do this on helmets and other props. So I'm not going to go through it in detail here, but I do have a little bit of a time lapse where you can see me using the filler primer and then going in and doing a bit of wet sanding, just getting it ready before we come in and do a base coat. So enjoy that. Now, as promised, here's that base coat. So I did say we're not going to be using liquid latex, and we're not, but we are going to go in with a metallic looking base coat. So this will be a nice silver, which we're going to be peeling back later once we've done our top coat of our white. I'll show you how we're going to do that. There's a number of ways you can do it. You can come in with a knife and actually just scratch off on different parts that would be damaged, but we're going to use something before that, and we're going to prep it before we actually do the white. But here I am just going over with this base coat of silver, and we'll see how that comes out. Now, as I said, I don't use liquid latex, but I do use toothpaste. This is cheap and easy, and everyone can get it. So just go down to Coles or Woolworths and grab some toothpaste, and I'm just painting it on. Now, the cool thing about this toothpaste is it doesn't dry. Even when you paint over it, it doesn't go hard and it doesn't dry. So once we paint over with our white and our gloss, we're just going to then wipe it straight off and it will reveal what's underneath. This is a lot cheaper than getting liquid latex. It's a lot more accessible. Anyone can use it, but it has the same effect. If not, slightly better, because some of it won't go on as thick. Now you can see where I'm painting on. I am painting some parts on quite thick. The bits that aren't as thick give it more of a natural looking damage, like it's been scratched and scraped away. Things don't scrape away perfectly clean. We don't get straight lines. We don't get, an even amount of scratching along different surfaces. But as you can see, I'm just going along in the areas that would get the most damage on this helmet. I'm picturing it's going to be the edges, it's going to be the bits that stick out, it's going to be the base, and then it's going to be wherever, I've crashed the bike and everything's flown up in the face. But yeah, just have fun with it. Put it in any pattern you want. You can use the same effect when you're doing colors, like if you're doing a Clone Trooper or Iron Man or anything like that, and you're using the blues and you want to reveal the silver or the whites underneath, use the same effect. Alright, now as you can see, I've now gone over this with a gloss white. I just used the White Nights one from Bunnings, and I'm just using a damp cloth to wipe away where the toothpaste is, and some other little bits that were a little heavier in the paint, revealing that nice silver underneath, giving it a slight scuffed, scratched, damaged look. Now this scratched look isn't enough for me, so I want it to be dirty and look damaged and worn. So I'm just using some paint that again I grabbed from Bunnings. It's just black acrylic. You've seen this same effect on my BB-8 and a number of my other props. If you've stuck around for a while, I'm just going to use some paper towel and a brush and a lot of water to get this in the right cracks and things, and it's just going to stay in there and make it look dirty. As I said, here I am doing it on BB-8, and you can see all the little details and the grooves and stuff. All the paint stays in there even when you wipe it away from the top surface, just like the dirt and everything would build up. So we're going to do the same thing to this helmet. As I said, I've got water here, I've mixed in the paint, and I'm just going to use a brush and some paper towel to go over it. Now I do this a few times, building up the layers, going over areas that I want to be a little thicker. Again, these bits like above the nose, it's really going to stay in there and make it look dirty. That's where all the dirt and the grime and stuff would build up naturally anyway, and that's what we want. Now we're getting closer to that desired effect of nice and dirty and weathered and scuffed. But again, I'm on a bike, I'm riding around, there's more than just one colour on there, so I'm going to use a bit of spray paint to go over it. Now I'm not going to blast it straight onto the helmet, don't worry. It's going to be a dusting, guys. Now I'm going to use something to protect it and guard it like this old box, and I'm just going to spray away and off the actual item itself. It's going to leave a nice dusting and a coating, like a flick over it, just like as dirt had flicked up off the road and built up on the helmet. Now we know that these guys get around in some sand and some different areas, like they're on, Tatooine, or if they're getting around somewhere like Lothal. So I'm going in with a bit of a sandblast as well, doing the same thing with this sandbank from White Knight Rust Guard. And then the final step for me, guys, is I'm actually going to go back in with this acrylic. I'm not going to water it down this time, and I'm going to dry brush over and around some of these scratch marks to give that scorched look as if they've been blasted. I'm using the side of the brush here and I'm just going over the edges as well, giving that little highlight to the nice whites and the scratches that we've already put in place. So there you have it, we're done. And now you can take that skill and paint or weather any helmet or prop you like. This is how you get these awesome effects like these without having to put lots of money, time, or different skills that you just don't have into it with equipment that not everybody has on hand. But you can get the same result. Enjoy, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.